Okay, hello again and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Smith and I am a third degree brown belt in Isshinryu Karate. This video is going to be about the so-called 10-second rule of Isshinryu Karate self-defense. Now, I'm not entirely sure who first came up with the 10-second rule, but I know that Grandmaster Sensei Arsenio James at Venkila was teaching the 10-second rule both in the military back when he was in the military, and he still teaches it now. So I don't know if it's something Grandmaster Shimobuku came up with, or if Sensei at Venkila came up with it. But basically, the theory is that you need to win your street fight, if your self-defense situation, in 10 seconds or less, because you don't know if there's an extra attacker about to engage you and hit you in the back of the head with a beer bottle or a pipe or chain or something. So you need to win. If you think there's only one attacker, you need to beat him in 10 seconds or less in case there's an unknown second attacker. If you already know there's two attackers, you need to beat each of them individually in 5 seconds or less to stand much chance in case there's a third unknown attacker, and so on. If you already know you've got three attackers, you need to beat each of them in 3 1/3 seconds or less in case there's an unknown fourth attacker, and so on. The more attackers you already know you're against, the faster you have to defeat them all to have much chance against an additional attacker that you haven't seen yet. All right, so that's the basics of the 10-second rule of self-defense. And like, wow, how do you win a fight against one person, much less 2 or 3 people, in 10 seconds or less? Well, it has been done. If you're good enough, you can do it. And that's why we practice our striking and our grappling so obsessively in Isshinryu Karate. And we also practice a philosophy of escalating force as necessary to the situation. So if we're pretty sure we've only got one attacker, we're going to use the minimum force necessary to defeat them in 10 seconds. If we're pretty sure we got 2 attackers, we're going to use instantaneous destructive force against the first attacker, just in case there's more than one additional attacker. We're going to wipe the first guy out, totally if necessary. We're going to cripple him in 1 or 2 moves as fast as we can so that we stand a chance against the second and or third attacker, and so on down the line. You escalate force versus the number of people that are attacking you, and especially if you're a woman in a rape or gang rape situation, I would recommend go ahead and use instantaneous destructive force. You're going to hit the person in the throat, crushing their larynx or trachea or esophagus at the least. You're going to hit the person in the sternum, crushing their sternum and giving them potential lung puncture or heart attack, potentially if you hit them hard enough with, say, some kind of hand strike or a frontal thrust kick. You're going to kick their knee from the front or especially the side of the knee with a cross-heel stomp kick or a forward angle kick, and basically break their knee or dislocate or hyperextend their leg, something to cripple that person so they're out of the fight. The first person that attacks you is the one that's going to get wiped out the hardest to give you much of a chance against your second and third attacker. So that's the 10-second rule of Isshinryu street self-defense, and just wanted to share that. And so there are videos of people, because there's some people, I've actually had people say, there's no way to win a fight in 1 or 2 moves. There's no way to win a fight in X number of seconds. Yes, there is. I beg to differ. Yes, there is. The Kenpo 5 swords maneuver, which comes from Kenpo Karate, which is adopted by Isshinryu, as all really good stuff that we encounter that's as good or better than what we're already doing, we adopt it into Isshinryu once, and it becomes a standard part of the style. Opponent throws a right hook, I'm going to step into it and double chop block the radius and the bicep of their arm. Then I'm going to hammer fist the jaw. Then I'm going to karate chop the neck or palm heel the jaw. Then I'm going to step back and uppercut into the body as I'm pulling their arm down. I'm going to uppercut into their body rupturing their stomach or kidney potentially under the floater rib. All right. And then I'm going to hammer fist, hammer fist, hammer fist, hammer fist, hammer fist until they're just out of it. And all of that can be done in under 1 second. As a matter of fact, we have video evidence when he was 57 years old, of all things, of Arsenio Advincula counterattacking in that sequence with 11 counterattacks in 1 second flat. You have to slow it down and put it in slow motion to count all the counterattacks that he throws, and their full length counterattacks in 1 second flat. And I'm pretty sure that's a tie for the world record number of strikes thrown in 1 second flat. So don't tell me that you can't end a fight in 3 or 5 or 10 seconds, because I know good and well you can. You can end some fights in 1 second flat. All right. Thank you very much for watching.